Hi, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Let's wait for 2, 3 minutes. Hi, Kalyan, how are you?
Yeah, doing fine. And
Anything? Chalo, good. Ravi Shankar has also joined. Okay. Hi, Raviji, how are you?
Good evening, Natalie.
Good evening, good evening.
Good evening.
So, Kalyan, how did your interview go?
there was no interview as such. Okay, so I'm still waiting for for those two
Okay.
results to come back. Yeah,
That Q burst went good. Did we speak about after that, huh?
yeah, we spoke.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, we
you
spoke.
both spoke. Yeah, I'm still waiting. Yeah.
Good, good, good. There is no urgency, in people's companies. So that's fine. So, what's the agenda for today? Ravikanji?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah. What is the agenda?
I don't know what happened in the last week because I was on tour
Okay, okay. You weren't there.
there.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I think mini recap sessions, right?
Recap is okay, but I think we last week we decided that, few interview standard repository.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The file, the
Yes.
yeah. Okay. Hmm. Hmm.
So shall we start with that today?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So what I suggest is that I'll just open a. Can I share? Sharing is not turned on. Okay. So how do we do that without a share? Just hold on. I'll just check with Geeta. She can make someone host. Just give me a moment.
Hmm.
Okay. So she's just joining. So I'll just open the presentation. Then maybe we can. So what I'll do today, I'll just, share all the questions. Though we had shared once earlier also, we'll just talk about how the standard framework should be to, prepare for those answers. And starting tomorrow, what we will do, we will just, everyone has to, what you do is at least prepare two questions so that, first we'll go with round one, then round two, two, three, at least two you do every day. And then I think in 4 or 5 days, we'll be done with all. So how does this sound?
There are 10 slides to be created, right?
Hmm?
10 slide, like you're talking about that key leadership interview masterclass, right? The document which you shared.
Yes, yes. So that only I have just made it into a PPT and along with, suggestive answers. And maybe today, if required, we will refine these also. If we feel that this is not striking with us, we'll just refine the answer flow as well. Okay, so today we are going to talk about 11 questions which will generally talk about people and culture, failure and resilience, and about your career. And with each, we have a framework and a model answer in which you fit in your own, specific experiences and build your own deck. So, this STAR framework we had earlier discussed multiple times. So, behind all the answers, we are trying to use a STAR framework because it gives us a structured approach to answer all the questions. We talk about the situation, we talk about the context, we talk about what are the stakes. Then we talk about what the real task was, what the challenge was, what were you exactly responsible for. Then we come to the actions. What you personally did. What were the decisions? What were the trade offs? And then finally, it's all about the result. What's the outcome? And the outcome has to be smart. It has to be specific. It has to be measurable, action oriented. What was the actual result? And what was the lesson it taught you? And what was the value created? And as we spoke last time, we don't have to tell long stories. Aim for 60 seconds to 90 seconds. One clear story, real numbers, and end on what was your lesson. If it doesn't require you to talk about a lesson, you can just leave it. So now coming to, see, this is a kind of a common question. Kalyan, you have been, giving lately multiple questions and you can vouch, that walk me through your career, take me through your profile. And some people may add that, in your professional journey, what were the key things which shaped you as a leader? So, were these asked in all those people who gave a recent interview? So, this is one of the top things. So, how to frame it? It should not be a reading of your resume because your resume normally they will have it in front of them. So, it has to be a 60 to 90-second arc. Pick 3 inflection points and decision behind each. Show a through line of growing scope and judgment. So it has to be, talking about different parts of your journey and land on why that path now connected to the current role. Like model answer, it says that I'll keep it to the moments that shaped how I lead. Running, you can talk about your earlier role. That I learned to build teams that outlast me. Turning around, which unit you turned around or whatever project you did, it taught me to make hard calls with incomplete data. And most recently, I have been able to scale this business and it showed me how to lead through other leaders. The thread is steadily bigger bets and a bias for building lasting capability, which is exactly what this role needs. So this is very short, but here we need to fill in our relevant current experiences. Any question before I move forward? So you draft your own. Just don't use this, I would say. You take your own, 2, 3 moments and what you did, talk about some transformations, talk about some people related. And you can also talk about some, how you handled some conflict. So in two lines, you can just add it and made it to 60 to 90 seconds. You make one script for yourself. I'll share this PPT. What you do is behind this, each slide, you write your own answer. No need to write completely, make bullet points. Okay.
This
So,
would be, yeah, maybe you complete the slides, we will come back later. Yeah, yeah. Okay. To fit this in 60 to 90 seconds, Dr. Hammer, so this is a big challenge.
it's not. So if you feel it's a challenge to you, tomorrow first I will answer my story. Then you start your stories. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
Or one answer, maybe once we complete, I'll see where we are.
Hmm.
Okay, then I'll give you my story, then you make your own stories.
Okay, okay.
If it is not 60, it can be 90 seconds.
Hmm.
But it should not be more than 2 minutes. That 2 minute, if you read and time, 90 seconds is a very, very long time. If if you know the answer and if you're just kind of rephrasing in your mind, because it is not, this question is not talking about tell me about yourself. It's only talking about through your career. So here you are not talking about the personal life, your educational background. Here you are only talking about the professional life. And professional, what will you do? Professional, generally you will talk about your current recent things, whatever you have done in the last 3 to 5 years. And 3 points, 3 inflection points.
Okay.
Okay, now coming to next question. Why do you want this role? And why now? So how to frame it? Connect their mission to your track record. So normally you will get the JD. So just connect that what is it that they are looking for. Review the JD very properly and see where you add value to that JD. And then show how the timing fits. And just signal your commitment. That's very, very important. 3 reasons, model answer. Your mission or inflection point. You can talk about, their mission, that is where I do my best work. I have spent the last decade doing this, and that challenges that this JD provided me are ones I have solved before at scale. And the timing is right. I have built the judgment and network to contribute on day one. And I'm looking to invest the next chapter here. Is it creating? How is it sounding?
No fluff. Straight.
Just we are taking from the GD, merging with our own experience, and then this is what I have done earlier. And I have that judgment. I have that tenacity. I have that capability to reproduce it here and now. Okay. So, what's your greatest strength? This is very common. At least I ask this question a lot. So, what are your two strengths? And what's your development area? So, this is very, very important. Pick a strength that matters in that JD and prove, because we have lot of strengths, but we can't talk about all. So, we'll talk about one or two top strengths, all those that match and fit, because it's all a maze. The puzzle that fits here, that's the one we have to pick up and talk about that. And when you have to talk about your development area, pick a real non-fatal development area and tell what are you actively doing about that area. And don't talk that now I work too hard, that I lose the count of time and all. It really shows up, huh? Though don't create those answers. So my strength is turning ambiguity into a clear plan people will follow. That's what I have done, in my previous project. And I aligned the teams on a roadmap in 1 quarter, and we were able to achieve this. And development area, you can talk about, my development area is patience with pace. Or you can say I dive too much into the details and sometimes lose track of time. And then you have to talk about what are you doing, to take care of this development area. So to keep myself in track, I have designed my organization in a way that my category managers, support me in all the actions, and I pitch in only when the value of the contracts is more than 5 crores. Less than that is all delegated. So when you're talking about patience with pace, then you can say that, I have learned to slow down on purpose, and I communicate the why to the teams. I lean on to a strong second in command to set in a realistic rhythm. So these are just the model things that I'm talking about. So you think about what are your strengths and what are your development areas and what are you doing about it. Okay, next one. So how do you handle conflict between two senior leaders on your team? So how do you frame it? So you address it early and directly. Separate the issues from the personalities. Anchor on the shared goals and the facts. Be willing to make the call if they can't. So this you should give a real example. So if I were to ask you, Ravi Shankarji, so how do you handle conflict between the two senior leaders in your team? How do you do that?
Yeah. So first is to understand the actual root cause, like have a conversation one-to-one with each of them,
Very good.
understand what it is, so that I understand what it is, what was this perspective. Maybe both of them could be right on their side, but then like what is the objective of the whole project or maybe the delivery? We have to take a proper call on that. And based on that, like I have to make sure that both of them understand. Then I have to make them sit together and align them that this is what is required and we have to go by this. And they have to agree to it. Like I have to make sure
Perfect.
that I
Perfect.
convince
This
them,
is
right?
the actual way we do it. Because people think somewhere and it's kind of, unclear ownership. Sometimes the things are misaligned. So then when you talk one to one and bring them together, you bring that, complete ownership and alignment in the teams. Wonderful. Kalyan, you want to add something
Right.
on this?
Yeah, so that is correct. So having one-to-one conversations is correct. But then the other important thing is to, uh, what is there in the second bullet on the left-hand side, right? So separate the issue from the personalities. Remove the sort of, the noise and the emotion and all that from the equation
Right.
and look at it purely from the lens of, merits, right? So, yeah, I think that is another thing. I think that probably is going to be very helpful.
Perfect. Ravi Kanji.
Yeah, most of the times the ego issues and all that, the third point anchor on shared goals and the facts. Uh, that helps to solve the clashes and uh, the problems between two personalities. So bringing them back to the pure objectivity and managing the things with the objective that are shared with them while with the task. So that helps to manage such situations.
Nice. Rajesh, you want to add something?
Yeah, I think most of it is I had a challenge in my earlier engagement where we had a conflict in terms of architecture implementation for one of the client AWS, and for during that period I had a meeting with all the two lead architects, and we came to a consensus together in terms of pros and cons in line with what is key to the client. So when the conflict arose, I stepped in to lead in terms of giving the perspective of overall roadmap of the organization. With that, we were able to resolve it.
So perfect. Very nice. So what we have to do, first we can talk general, what we do, pair it up with an example. That recently in my team, there was a conflict and then these two people, and I found that, there was disalignment on the goals or disalignment on the purpose of the project. And then you can talk about that. I brought him in, I had a conversation individually, then I brought them together and asked them to commit to the shared goals and made the responsibility matrix more clear, and then I was able to resolve that conflict. Just add it up, spice it up with an example. Good. So let's move on to the next one. So how do you influence the senior management, the steerco, the board, your peers without any direct authority? So these days we all work, in matrix organizations. True or not, I don't know about IT sector. So we have to influence a
That,
lot of people on which we do not have any authority, you know.
that's
Managing
completely
your
true.
own team is the easiest thing to do. So how do we do that? Building credibility and relationships before you need them, you know. Don't wait for the opportune moment कि अरे मेरा काम आएगा, then I'll just, you know, build those relationships. So have good relationships with all the people. Lead with their priorities and the evidence. Pre-wired decisions. No surprises in the room. And be generous to give credit, you know, to the people around you. So now I want to hear from you people. How do you all do that? So who wants to go first? Yeah, Ravi, go.
Okay, sure. I think like the very first thing is we have to build a visibility so that people can actually identify, okay, this is the person who we can approach for anything, like the work that you are looking out for, right? So you should have that visibility created around your area or your with your managers so that they approach you. And then like when you are working on it, like you should actually take up like what work you are doing, and like you should not take up all the work that is there or that is given to you. Maybe try to delegate some of the work and take up only those works which actually adds value to your career or to the organization rather
This is
than
not
just taking
about,
up.
you know, which work you are taking. It
uh,
is about how do you influence the people. Like you want to pitch for a new project, okay, or
uh,
you want to bring about an innovation or an automation, but you
okay,
are doing something, but you have to first take the approval, you know, in the board or at a steerco level. You are presenting your case. So
okay, okay, okay,
how do you ensure that when you present there is a buy-in?
okay, okay. So, yeah.
Or
So
when, you
first is
know,
the
when those people are presenting and then you are there, so how, you know, that equation, that, you know, people
okay,
are supporting you, they are opposing you, or are they giving you constructive feedback, or they just speaking for the sake of speaking and opposing whatever ideas you have. You must have, you may have, you know, all of you may have observed
correct,
in
correct,
certain, you know, meetings we observe that there are certain people who will always oppose some of the people. So this is
correct,
all is the boardroom politics.
correct. You're right. So you have to align with the people before the meeting, like who are the major stakeholders. First, you have to identify the major stakeholders who have the say and who are actually uh, put a voice over, right? You have people like who can actually put down their voice and like who can support you. So you have to influence them and get them onto your side, maybe not directly, but indirectly communicate to them that this is the objective that you are going around into the board so that they know and they support you. Maybe like if there is something that has to be discussed, you can discuss it beforehand and get them onto your side so that you get a support, right? And nonetheless, there are people who are going to object. So we have to be prepared with proper answers and proper justification
So how do you deal
for
with
those. Yeah,
them? That also you have to talk about.
yeah, yeah. So
So
there are people.
executive presence is what we spoke about, you know,
Yeah,
maintaining, you know, a pause when you hear. You have to have a pause, a good question, and then maybe, you know, your feedback will help me. So all these
correct.
strategic.
Pampering, kind of pampering, and then taking up the call. So this way, like they can actually support.
Good. Kalyan, what's your addition?
Yeah, two most important things that I have learned is to keep it very simple. So it has to be very easy to make it understand. That's the first thing that I've learned. If you have a situation or something that you're trying to get a buy-in, you have to simplify it and present in as if you're teaching laymen, okay, or you're asking a layman, number one. And the second thing is to put clear-cut, data-driven points, okay, so that it is backed, whatever you're trying to influence is backed by strong data.
Right.
Yeah.
Very good. Rajesh.
Yeah, so primarily, the way I approach is to have a beforehand discussion with the key stakeholders of the organization while we present it to the client, client board meetings. So this happened to me while I was, working for a project called Heineken, and I had prepared from the perspective of enhancing the service transition. So I was responsible for bringing in the value adds for the organization. So I had prepared a couple of slides highlighting on the value adds and what is the return on investment on implementing this. This I had discussed earlier with my senior stakeholders, and I presented this in front of the client, and we were able to get the buy-in. And I thanked my senior leaders for that. Yeah.
Good. And Ravi Kanji.
Yeah, from my point of view, communication is the key. Strategically, how we can communicate with our seniors or share with them our viewpoints so that there can be a consensus or alignment in the viewpoints. That is one thing. And with the juniors, so we can have a policy of share and care where we can support their viewpoints and help them to align with the organizational perspective. This indeed builds up the relationship as well as build credibility with others too.
Good. Nice. Okay. So, how do you assess and shift a culture that needs to change? So, what do you do? How do you frame it? First, you diagnose, listen, observe, follow what's happening, to skip level meetings, watch what gets rewarded versus what is set. Define the few behaviors that matter most. Firstly, we have to know, what matters in the company. If it's a construction company, then the project deadline matters the most, the safety matters. So you have to have the list of behaviors. What are the key things that are required? Then you have to model them yourself and plan the incentives around that. Culture moves when leaders model it and incentives follow, and make it concrete and measure it. So, alignment of the recognition, promotion, metrics to the new behaviors and tracking them. That's very important. Yeah, so one by one, you can tell.
Yeah, so there was a situation wherein I moved into a team wherein I didn't had idea about this team. This was totally new to me. So I didn't wanted to pitch in into all the discussions. So I thought I should better understand the culture. And for that, I had to understand, or I had to join different meetings, some skip level meetings, understand how the people were awarded, what kind of appreciations were being done, and in case there were any hindrance to people being getting recognized, I had to make a note of all those so that I can analyze and then align myself to what the behavioral uh, strategy that I will have to follow, right? And then as this was more a shift that I had to bring in, so I had to plan accordingly. So I had to take some of the senior leaders into confidence before implementing the thoughts that I had. So I had discussions with the senior leaders to understand what
Too
it is
long,
and
Ravi Shankar ji.
okay. Ah,
We are just losing track of time.
okay.
So, okay, it's okay for today, but
Uh-huh.
just make some pointers and reframe it and concise, make it concise. It cannot go endlessly that
Correct, got it.
everyone is losing track. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Kalyan, go ahead.
Yeah. So I think first understanding and analyzing the current ways of working, right? And clearly, sort of uh, establishing a hypothesis why this ways of working is not very efficient, right? And then making the changes to that ways of working and showing the tangible outcomes. So I treat this as enforcing a change management. So that is how.
Good. Yeah. Rajesh, you want to add something?
All right. So some of them is what we've been living. So we move from project to project, within our company, right? So every time a different set of people. So everything follows, everything starts from the alignment towards a common goal. So first, I work with the people to understand each and every individuals, how they are working and what are their aspirations are, and a change in the culture is more aligned towards the company goals. And there are incentives attached for the best, the people who are top performers using Brave Awards, etc., which ideally enhances the work culture in terms of high performance and getting the team together in various forums. It could be outing or it could be some events is what gets people going.
Good. Ravi Kanji.
When results are to be achieved through collective activities of the team, then building adaptive and learning culture within the team is the primary objective. Once we build up that adaptive and learning culture within the team, then building up a mentor pyramid. This is one of the exercise I had done prior also. That building up the mentor pyramid within the organization, within the team, it builds up a sense of belongingness as well as maintain the objectivity, and that's why that way we can assess each individual as well as their team teamwork too, and can set up a new culture that aligns with the objectivity of the project.
Good. Nice. So what I suggest for today is that I think we have done enough. We are already at 10:15. So tomorrow what we can do, either we can finish this presentation, or if you are able to prepare, then I think on Wednesday onwards we will start that, taking some questions and all. Same thing, you come with preparation. This is just we are talking, like that. I want each of you to give at least 5-7 minutes on each question, prepare certain bullets, and then frame it, and then I want all of you to speak with that conviction and confidence.
Sure.
Okay,
Because
so
I would
5 to 7 minutes, or
huh?
no, is it usually
No,
5?
no, no, no. Means while you are framing it, take 5 minutes, not speak for 5 minutes. Take 5 minutes to frame and speak only for 60 seconds.
60 seconds.
Yes. Prepare each answer. You prepare it. This is the homework.
okay. I will prepare it, but I'm not going to be there for this week, like from Wednesday
When are you
to
not there?
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm not there. I'll be back
Okay.
on Monday.
Rest
Actually,
all of you are there. Wednesday, Thursday, actually, I am also traveling.
uh,
Rather Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I am also traveling, but I'll see. I'll try to join. Chalo, we'll see. No worries. Tomorrow you are there, na?
Yeah, yeah,
Tomorrow I'm also there. Okay. Tomorrow
yeah.
let's do it, and then let's give some time and let's prepare, and then whenever you are there, we will take up yours. Rest others can prepare.
Sure, sure.
Okay. Good night, everyone. Have a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.